Thursday morning on K-Lite. Gary Cashman, good morning. It's 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. As we always do every morning, music is what we're all about here. We try to expand your musical horizons in a variety of ways, and we're going to do that very thing right now.
Yes, this all started, a friend of mine, and actually that you know very well too, Gare, was out in Santa Barbara and actually called me after hearing Tina Tara, who was in studio, and said, man, you have to interview, you have to talk to her. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, that sounds like it could be good. And then she sent me her song, and I was wowed, and looked at her story. I mean, this is incredible talent that is sitting in the studio with us.
And she's beaming, as a matter of fact.
Yes, she's a singer, songwriter, and producer now based in Santa Barbara, but is originally from Austria. And the story of you getting here is fascinating too. But just first of all, welcome. How are you doing?
Hello. I am so happy to be here.
It's so good to see you. Now, you admitted to us that when you came in, you said, I've been listening to you this morning. You hadn't listened to radio for a while, and you've already fallen in love with the station.
Absolutely. I loved every song you played, and it reminded me of when I started waking up every morning when I was younger to radio.
Yeah.
And I want to start doing that again.
Do we look a little different than you thought we would?
No, you look younger, much younger than I thought you did.
Oh, you know what to say. Okay, so you were originally from Austria, and you still have that beautiful accent. And you growing up in Austria, did you always know that you wanted to come to the United States, or was that a dream for you?
I think when I grew up, just the sheer thought of becoming a singer and doing that as a profession was so far out of reach. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even have dreamed of moving to the other side of the planet. Mm-hmm. When I moved to London, that's the time when I started exploring different places, and I talked to Berklee College of Music, and I talked to different places, but it ended up to be London in the first place because it was closer and easier to do.
And the majority of the people that you listened to growing up were from America, right? I know you mentioned Whitney Houston.
What kind of
who did you love? Whitney, Christina Aguilera, Alicia Keys, Sam Brown, a myriad of big vocals, Mariah Carey.
And you were classically trained, right? Now I read that you started playing piano when you were 3. Is that true? And then you started writing music in your teens?
Yeah, I started playing piano about when I was 3, probably a little earlier. I got early music education when I was about 4. Mm-hmm. So I really started messing around with piano, and then I sang. I mean, I always sang. My mom always sang with us. But I remember that I found Whitney Houston's album, and I just talked to my mom recently, and she was like, no, Tina, I played Whitney Houston to you when I was still pregnant with you. But I obviously don't remember that. So I was like...
Well, cellular memory is what it is. Okay, so with so many questions for you, one of the things that we read is that you did actually have a song in the top 40 back in 2020, and it was called Maybe, and it's a great song. But, boy, coincided with the pandemic, which also leads you to one reason that you're here in Santa Barbara. So how long have you been here, and what brought you here?
I have moved here in October 2020, which was just when basically the gates opened, so you could come in, and then I come here and the gates closed again and we had lockdown. But before the pandemic started, I was in Austria. I did stay in Austria when it started to be with my family and see how it turns out. Mm-hmm. Simultaneously, I was in LA the year before, and I met my now manager, Charlie Pawlowski, who forwarded my music to a few people, amongst them Harvey Cooper, who had to do with the launch of Elvis and the Beatles in America. And he forwarded it to a radio promoter, and they started radio promotion. And so it happened to enter the charts around March in 2020, and around May, just when the pandemic starts blossoming and we're getting all scared, my song was there, maybe and it ended up on the top 40 Billboard charts, which was wonderful. I didn't really notice much of it because I was in Austria, but it helped a lot to get my visa sponsored and bring me here.
And so why Santa Barbara?
Because of the pandemic, actually, and I'm very glad that I ended up here because my manager lived up here and I wanted to move to Los Angeles, but Los Angeles happened to be not the best place during the pandemic, and so I ended up here freaking love it. Love the people.
And they love you too. The song that we're going to play that is out today, and then we're going to hang out with you a little bit longer too, but I just want people to hear your beautiful, glorious voice, is a song called The Flame. And if you remember, it was originally a Cheap Trick song. How did you come to pick this song?
Again, it's the weirdest thing. Things come to me. I don't know how it happens. But we were looking for a cover. I'd never released a cover, and it was kind of like, let's try something new. Charlie, my manager, he looked for things that he thought would fit. Then he sent me the song. I listened to it, and I was like, this is a great song. But I wasn't convinced yet. But I love the song. And then there's this promoter that I know, Jason Dahman, who's currently starting to promote the song in Europe. And he also loved the song. And then I talked to Conrad Kono. By the way, Conrad says hi.
Yeah.
I talked to him.
I love Conrad
He's the
Kono.
best person. And so I had a rehearsal with Conrad, and I tell him about the song, and he says, oh my God, I love this song. It's my favorite song. So he plays it on piano, and something happens when Conrad plays. As soon as he plays something, it inspires me in a different level. And so he starts playing the song, and I sing to it, and suddenly it's like magic. And I'm like, I need to do this song.
Now, how did you put your own different spin on the song?
Happens.
It just
naturally.
happened, yeah,
I'm not
just-
thinking
okay.
about it. But
Yeah.
again, it was the way that he played piano. And on this version that's coming out tomorrow, it's not... there's no piano on there, but I will release a version where there's Conrad playing, because he actually played the song in the studio, and I recorded the vocals to his playing, and then we send it.
So how did you feel the first time you heard it, the finished product?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking with Tina Tara. She is in studio. This song actually officially comes out tomorrow, but we are spinning it right now on K-Lite. Boy, this is great. You just own this song. And thanks for being with us. Hang out. Here's Tina Tara.
Another night slowly closes in, and it feels so lonely. Touching heat, freezing up my skin. I pretend you still hold me. I'm going crazy, I'm losing sleep. I'm in too far, I'm in way too deep over you. I can't believe you're gone. You were the first, you'll be the last. Wherever you go, I'll be with you. Whatever
Oh my goodness, that's Tina Tara and the Flame on K-Lite 101.7. And Tina just happens to be sitting with us here in studio and lives in our beautiful Santa Barbara right now. Just stunning. I love that version. What is it like to hear it played on the radio like that?
That's the first time I hear it on the radio, so thank you so much for having me here while it happens.
You know, this is a funny little question Gary and I have often noted. Usually artists from the UK, but in your case, you speak with an accent, but when you're singing, the accent is gone. Is that something that just happens, or do you mean to do that? I'm just so curious.
I am not even aware of it.
Yeah.
It's not something that I did put a lot of work into trying to remove my accent as much as possible. I know that it comes through a lot of the time when I talk.
Well, it's so beautiful.
Don't lose it completely.
Yeah,
It's
don't
great.
lose it.
Thank you.
How many languages do you speak?
3.
Uh-huh.
Now, didn't you say it was 3.5?
It was 3.5. I don't
What's the half?
have French. I can say
3.5.
very well and fluently in French that I can't speak French, and everybody thinks I can. And it's
And then
horrible.
they start speaking to you.
Yes.
So I'm guessing
One, two.
German, Spanish,
And English.
Yeah, that's terrific. So what's next for you? I know that you're performing here locally, but I'm kind of guessing you might not be staying here locally all that much. Or what are your hopes and dreams?
Oh, shall we go there? The Super Bowl no joking. Currently we're promoting the song, and I've put a lot of my own funds into this promotion, so at the moment it's for me just putting together all kinds of marketing and trying to share it with as many people as possible. We're also booking a lot of live shows. We're looking at a lot of county fairs. I'm not gonna mention which ones have been half confirmed because they haven't been fully confirmed, but I put all the live dates on my website when they're done. And I'm working on original material.
Yeah.
I'm working on different, with different producers, and I'll see where it takes me.
Come on, give us your website again real quick.
It's Tina, Tina, Tara, Tara, official.com.
Beautiful. Easy to remember.
You play at the El Encanto every Wednesday evening. People can go up and see you there. And I'm just kind of guessing, just from the way that you present personally, that you probably love performing live. Is that something that is so different than being in the studio, right?
Yes, and I actually love both. I love performing live because I love connecting with people personally. It's probably the way that you can experience me in the best way. I love being in the studio, especially when the person recording me or the producer are great people and are fun. I love to make a lot of jokes. So it's like, it has to be a fun experience. I don't like tension, and I also teach vocals, so I'm aware that, for example, the way you're feeling has a lot to do with your performance. So if somebody's there constantly nitpicking on every word that you're saying and stuff, I don't like that.
We're talking with Tina Tara. She is a singer and songwriter. We want to give a quick shout out before you go to your studio, because I understand that the studio that you recorded this in is actually in Santa Ynez. What's the studio?
It is called, so it was the former Joel Jacks Studios. He is now changing the name to Mini Horse Studios. And I don't know if you can already find it online on the Mini Horse, but Joel is an amazing
Does he have
person.
mini horses?
He does have 2 mini horses in the bag.
There's a lot of mini horses in Santa
Mini
Ynez.
horses, they're the best thing, and I love them. And it's just such a quaint, beautiful, wonderfully equipped studio. So anybody who wants to record it, I would always recommend go there.
Well, check it out online. The Flame is Tina Tara's new song. Comes out officially tomorrow. You can go to tinataraofficial.com to find out more. I have a feeling you might have a big crowd on Wednesday, next Wednesday at the El Encanto. And it is so great to have you in the studio, and I'm sure we're going to have you again. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure. Good to meet you.